In today's fast-paced world, being busy has become a badge of honor. People rush from task to task, checking boxes, answering emails, jumping into meetings, and constantly chasing deadlines. But here's the truth: being busy does not mean being productive. Productivity is about making progress, not just activity. It's about achieving meaningful goals, not simply staying occupied. We must stop glorifying busyness and start valuing focus, intention, and results. You can spend an entire day doing 10 different things and still not accomplish anything worthwhile. Or you can spend just a few focused hours and achieve something that creates real value. That's the difference between being busy and being productive. When you're busy, you're reacting. When you're productive, you're creating. When you're busy, your time is consumed. When you're productive, your time is invested. Let us stop measuring our worth by how much we do and start measuring it by what we actually achieve. Focus on doing what matters, what moves the needle forward, and what truly contributes to your growth. Being productive doesn't mean working more. It means working smarter. It means being intentional with your energy, your attention, and your priorities. So let's break free from the trap of busyness and embrace the power of true productivity. Just because your schedule is packed doesn't mean you're achieving your goals. People often equate being constantly occupied with being effective, but real success comes from outcomes, not from how busy you appear to be. Activity doesn't always equal progress. Productivity comes from doing things with a clear purpose. Instead of blindly checking tasks off a list, productive people align their actions with long-term goals. They prioritize impact over quantity and focus on tasks that bring real value. Multitasking often leads to scattered focus and shallow results. When we try to do too many things at once, we end up doing none of them well. Productivity demands full presence on one meaningful task at a time, not a rushed attempt at everything simultaneously. Busy people often react to whatever comes their way: messages, notifications, interruptions. Productive individuals, however, are proactive and intentional. They plan their day, protect their time, and direct their focus on what truly matters rather than constantly firefighting. Productivity isn't about how many things you do, but how well you do them. Completing 2 meaningful tasks well is far more valuable than finishing 10 small, unimportant ones. Focus on fewer things done with excellence instead of more things done in haste. Productive people design their day around their values and goals. They say nay to distractions and prioritize the essential. They don't allow their calendars to control them. Instead, they take control of their schedules by allocating time to high-value activities. Productivity isn't just about managing time, it's about managing your energy. Busy people drain themselves trying to do everything. Productive people know when to rest, recharge, and work in their peak energy windows to deliver their best performance. Productive individuals regularly reflect on their performance. They ask themselves what worked, what didn't, and how they can improve. They don't just work blindly, they learn, adapt, and evolve. That self-awareness helps them stay focused and avoid the trap of meaningless busyness. In today's culture, being constantly busy is often seen as a mark of dedication, ambition, and success. People wear their packed schedules like badges of honor, proudly talking about how they've had no time to rest or how they've been working nonstop. But the truth is, busyness and productivity are two very different things. You can fill every minute of your day with activity and still not move a single step closer to your goals. Being busy is about motion, while being productive is about progress. This phenomenon is known as a task switching. And every time your attention shifts, your brain has to reset and refocus. This results in mental fatigue, reduced creativity, and lower overall productivity. Multitasking fragments your focus. You might feel like you're being productive because you're always doing something, but in reality, you're just spreading your attention so thin that nothing gets done with quality or depth. Important details are missed, mistakes are more likely, and your ability to fully absorb or retain information is weakened. In trying to do everything, you end up doing nothing exceptionally well. Moreover, multitasking contributes to a scattered mindset. It creates stress and anxiety because you're constantly trying to keep up with multiple streams of input. Your mind becomes cluttered, making it harder to prioritize, solve problems, or think critically. Over time, this constant mental juggling can lead to burnout, as your brain is not designed to operate efficiently in a state of divided attention. Truly productive individuals understand that focus is their greatest asset. They commit to one task at a time, giving it their full attention and energy. Energy. They create boundaries around their workflow, turning off notifications, setting time blocks for deep work, and minimizing interruptions. This allows them to enter a state of flow, where concentration is high and output is not only faster, but far more effective. In contrast to multitasking, single tasking allows for depth, clarity, and excellence. It fosters a mindset of mindfulness and intentionality where you're fully present in the moment and able to give your best to what you're doing. That's where real productivity lives, not in doing more at once, but in doing the right thing with complete focus. One of the biggest differences between being busy and being productive lies in how we approach our daily tasks. Are we reacting to life as it comes, or are we intentionally shaping our day around our priorities? Busy people often live in a reactive state, constantly responding to emails, messages, phone calls, and unexpected interruptions. Their schedules are dictated by other people's urgencies, and their focus is scattered because they are always trying to keep up rather than lead the way. When you live reactively, you surrender control of your time and energy. You wake up and immediately start responding to notifications, demands, and requests. Before you know it, half your day is gone, and you haven't done a single thing that truly mattered to your goals. You're caught in a cycle of reaction, jumping from one task to the next without ever asking, is this actually important to me? Productive individuals, on the other hand, operate with intention. They don't allow their day to be hijacked by constant external input. They begin with a plan, a clear vision of what needs to be accomplished, and they protect that plan fiercely. They are proactive in how they manage their time, choosing to act on what's meaningful rather than reacting to every small distraction. Intentionality requires discipline and self-awareness. It means recognizing that not every message demands an immediate reply, not every meeting is worth attending, and not every task deserves a place on your to-do list. Intentional people learn to pause and evaluate before jumping into action. They prioritize what aligns with their long-term vision and values, and they let go of the noise that distracts from their purpose. Being intentional also involves setting boundaries with your time, your energy, and your attention. It means scheduling focused time, saying no to unimportant tasks, and minimizing reactive habits like constantly checking your phone or email. It's about taking ownership of your day rather than letting the day control you. When you act with intention, you work smarter. Your actions are deliberate, your results are more meaningful, and your mental space becomes clearer. You start to see that productivity isn't about speed or urgency. It's about direction, clarity, and conscious effort. Instead of chasing everything that comes your way, you focus only on what truly moves you forward. In the pursuit of productivity, many people fall into the trap of measuring success by the number of tasks they complete rather than the impact of those tasks. This checklist mentality can be incredibly deceptive. Crossing off 10 minor, low-value tasks might feel satisfying in the moment, but it often leads to little or no real progress. The truth is, doing fewer things with greater quality will always outperform doing many things with little depth. True productivity is not about cramming as much as possible into your day. It's about doing the right things, the important things, and doing them with excellence. Completing one task that brings meaningful results or solves a major problem can be far more valuable than completing 5 trivial tasks that merely fill time. When your focus is on quantity, you rush through tasks just to get them done. When your focus is on quality, you slow down, think critically, and ensure that your effort produces something worthwhile. High-quality work has a lasting impact. It builds your reputation, strengthens your skills, and creates results that others notice. Low-quality work, on the other hand, often leads to repetition, rework, or missed opportunities. In an age of information overload and constant activity, depth is a competitive advantage. The ability to go deep on fewer, more valuable tasks allows you to create outcomes that are innovative, polished, and impactful. Focusing on quality also promotes a more mindful approach to work. It encourages you to be present, to eliminate distractions, and to fully engage with the task at hand. This doesn't just improve the results, it also makes the process more satisfying. You feel a deeper sense of accomplishment when you've given your best, rather than just gotten through something. Furthermore, prioritizing quality helps prevent burnout. When you're constantly racing to get through an endless list of small, unimportant tasks, your energy is depleted without meaningful reward. But when you focus on a few high-impact activities, you conserve your mental and emotional energy, and your work becomes more sustainable and fulfilling over time. Choosing quality over quantity means making tough decisions about what truly deserves your attention. It means saying no to the things that don't matter, even if they're easy or urgent. It means giving your time and energy to what actually contributes to your personal growth, your mission, and your long-term goals. One of the most powerful ways to shift from being busy to being productive is through value-driven scheduling. Instead of letting the clock or the calendar dictate your day, truly productive individuals take charge of their schedule by aligning it with their values, goals, and highest priorities. They don't just fill time, they design it with intention. In a value-driven approach, every task, appointment, or commitment is carefully examined through the lens of, does this align with what's most important to me? It's not about how much you can squeeze into your day. It's about making sure that your time is spent on what truly matters. This requires deep clarity about your personal and professional values. What are you working toward? What kind of person do you want to become? What legacy do you want to leave behind? When you're clear on these things, scheduling becomes more than time management, it becomes life alignment. Busy people often say yes to everything, every meeting, every request, every opportunity, out of fear of missing out, guilt, or obligation. As a result, they end up stretched thin, overwhelmed, and constantly chasing their own tails. In contrast, productive people are selective. They protect their time like it's their most precious resource, because it is. They say no to the unimportant and reserve space for focused, meaningful work. Value-driven scheduling also includes planning for rest, reflection, and personal growth. It acknowledges that you're not a machine. You're a human being who needs balance, creativity, and space to think. High-value activities are not always urgent, but they are essential. These include things like learning, strategizing, building relationships, or even simply taking care of your physical and mental health. When your schedule includes these things, you're not just productive, you're thriving. This kind of scheduling involves being proactive. Instead of waiting for time to open up, productive people block time for their most important tasks in advance. They guard that time from distractions and interruptions, treating it like a non-negotiable appointment with their future success. They also regularly review and adjust their schedules to ensure they stay aligned with their evolving goals and values. A calendar filled with high-value activities reflects a life lived with purpose. It shows a person who is not reacting to the chaos of the world, but responding with clarity and commitment. It allows for more meaningful work, better results, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. When your schedule is built around what you truly care about, every hour becomes a step closer to your best self. When we talk about productivity, the conversation often centers around managing time, how to schedule more efficiently, how to fit more into the day, how to make use of every available minute. But in reality, time management means little without energy management. You can have all the time in the world, but if you lack the energy, focus, or motivation to use that time wisely, your productivity will suffer. Busy people often push themselves to keep going regardless of how they feel. They ignore signs of fatigue, skip meals, sacrifice sleep, and grind through their days with the belief that sheer willpower is enough. But this leads to diminishing returns. When your energy is depleted, your creativity, problem-solving abilities, and emotional intelligence all decline. You may still be working, but the quality of your work and your well-being plummets. Productive people understand that energy is their most valuable asset. They pay close attention to how they feel and how their energy fluctuates throughout the day. Instead of forcing themselves to power through every hour, they strategically align high-value tasks with their peak energy periods. For some, that might be early in the morning. For others, it could be late at night. They know when they're most focused and alert, and they reserve those windows for deep, meaningful work. Energy management also includes creating routines that replenish rather than drain. This means taking intentional breaks, staying hydrated, eating well, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. It might also involve engaging in mindfulness practices, such as meditation or journaling, which help reset the mind and restore clarity. These activities aren't distractions from productivity, they are fuel for it. Moreover, managing energy involves emotional awareness. Stress, unresolved conflicts, and negative environments can drain mental and emotional energy just as much as physical exhaustion. Productive individuals recognize when they're being pulled down by toxic influences and take steps to protect their emotional space. They set boundaries, avoid unnecessary drama, and make space for positivity and motivation. Another key aspect of energy management is learning when to stop. Knowing when to step away, pause, or completely unplug is a strength, not a weakness. Rest is not a reward, it's a necessity. High performers understand that rest and recovery are essential parts of the productivity cycle. Just like a muscle, your brain needs time to rebuild and recharge in order to perform at its best. Ultimately, energy management is about working in harmony with your body and mind rather than against them. It's a more humane, sustainable, and intelligent way to live and work. When you manage your energy with care and intention, you're not just able to get more done, you're able to do it better, with more joy, clarity, and resilience. True productivity isn't a one-time achievement. It's an ongoing process of learning, adapting, and evolving. One of the key habits that separates productive people from merely busy ones is their commitment to regular reflection and continuous improvement. They don't just go through their days on autopilot. They take the time to pause, review, and ask important questions about how they are working, what's working well, and what needs to change. Busy individuals often move from one task to the next without ever looking back. Their focus is entirely on doing more, and in their rush, they rarely evaluate whether their actions are effective or aligned with their goals. As a result, they repeat the same mistakes, fall into the same traps, and burn out without understanding why. In contrast, productive people make reflection a daily and weekly practice, treating it as a tool for refinement and growth. Reflection allows you to gain insight into how you're using your time and energy. It helps you identify patterns, what habits boost your focus, what distractions derail you, which tasks yield the greatest results, and which ones waste your efforts. With this insight, you can begin to optimize your workflow, eliminate inefficiencies, and fine-tune your strategies for better outcomes. Productive individuals often keep journals, conduct weekly reviews, or ask themselves simple yet powerful questions such as, what did I accomplish today that truly mattered? What challenges did I face, and how did I respond? Where did I spend too much time or lose focus? What can I improve tomorrow? Can I improve tomorrow? These questions create space for intentional growth, not just automatic repetition. By regularly reflecting, productive people cultivate self-awareness, which helps them make better decisions and stay aligned with their long-term goals. They don't fear failure. Instead, they treat every setback as feedback, every mistake as a lesson, and every success as an opportunity to understand what works. Continuous improvement also means staying curious and open-minded. Productive individuals are lifelong learners. Undone. They read, experiment, seek feedback, and look for ways to sharpen their skills. They understand that the world is constantly changing, and so must their methods. They embrace change not as a threat, but as a necessary part of progress. This mindset of growth turns productivity into a journey rather than a destination. It transforms routine tasks into opportunities for mastery, and it helps you evolve into someone who doesn't just work hard, but works wisely, with purpose and excellence. So, the next time you find yourself overwhelmed with tasks, take a moment to pause and reflect. Are you truly being productive, or are you just staying busy? Are your actions aligned with your goals, or are you simply reacting to the chaos around you? Remember, productivity is not about how much you do, but about how much of it truly matters. Make the conscious choice to prioritize focus over frenzy, depth over speed, and purpose over pressure. Reclaim your time, protect your energy, be intentional with your actions. Because in the end, it's not the number of things you did that will define your success, it's the value you created and the meaningful progress you made along the way.